Narcissus. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America 20 years later today.
Hey, so I'm calling your show, 'cause I need to know. Show me which way to go before I throw my man out the door.
Okay, hold on a second, Keisha. Just let me ask Ronald exactly what's going on, because it takes two to tango, and I need to hear his side of the story.
So she's driving me insane, got stress heavy on my brain. She keeps playing silly games, man, I'm about to bring the pain. We seem to fuss and fight every day and every night. Please give some advice so we can see the light, see the light.
What is going on, beautiful people? I am Lee Hammock, the diagnosed self-aware narcissist known as mental illness, and welcome to another episode of A Narcissist Explains. In today's episode, y'all, we're going to be answering the question, why do a lot of narcissists hate their exes? Hate them. Hate with a capital H, capital A, little T, big E. Stay tuned, like and subscribe. So one of the red flags I try to tell people to watch out for narcissistic people is that they hate their exes. And they not only do they hate their exes, they are obsessed with ruining their exes' lives or trying to hurt or harm an ex. Like while actively being in a relationship with you. Like y'all are together in a relationship, but they are hyper focused on getting back at an ex that left them or something like that. While they're supposed to be happy with you, you might be the new supply. You might be the narcissist's new supply, and they might try to turn you into a flying monkey to harass and, post-separation abuse their ex-partner. This happens all the time. If you're dealing with somebody that you think might be narcissistic and they're just hyper-focused on an ex, just be very, very careful in these situations, y'all. Because they could claim to hate that ex, but somehow stay in contact with them and somehow maybe end up back together with them. They're still talking to their exes or reaching out to their exes or trying to ruin their exes' lives or stalking their ex. Y'all, I'm not telling you to leave this person alone, but... So, welcome back, y'all. I know y'all see it.
Bringing it. Very interesting. Lee Hammock. That guy is a clinically diagnosed narcissist, and he calls himself a self-aware narcissist, and he does YouTube content to create information or provide information for people who don't understand narcissism. But let me just say, your ex doesn't have to be a narcissist in order to try to run a smear campaign against you. Now, that might be the favored tactic, of a narcissist, but regular people who aren't clinically diagnosable as someone suffering from NPD, narcissistic personality disorder. But let's get into today's topic, because it's interesting that we played that clip first, because it actually kind of sets us up. Allow me to introduce my ex, the devil. If your ex is the devil, what does that make you? Now, why is it that we always blame somebody? Why? Why can't we just take responsibility for what it is we've done? Usually conflict, and I've rarely seen it just one way. Oh, he just crazy, or she just crazy, or I was just minding my business and crazy showed up. I rarely see it like that. I believe conflict is, like all things in relationships, bi-directional, right? You could be doing crazy things to yourself, maybe on an unconscious level, but that adds to the bidirectionality of the conflict that we tend to experience. So I want to know, why is it easier to say it was their fault, or they're messed up, or something is wrong with them? Have you ever been with somebody and they was like, you need therapy. I'm okay. Everything about me, good. Something wrong with you and you alone. Have you ever experienced that in relationship? In what ways can the archetype of the devil in relationships serve as a projection of one's own unresolved traumas and fears? You calling me the devil so you don't have to look at your own? 1-800-920-1580. Get to your phone lines. This is a non-judgmental space. Everybody's opinion is welcome. I want to talk to everybody. Get in here, get in here, get in here. What does the concept of shadow work from Carl Jung's psychology perspectives, how does the concept of shadow work facilitate a deeper understanding of our ex-partners as reflections of our own inner turmoil? Your crazy ex, could it be said that your crazy ex, quote unquote, you're calling them crazy, your crazy ex, their crazy is a reflection of your deep-seated issues, your unhealed wounds? How many people are really ready to take responsibility like that? I hear a lot of men calling women to the floor. Women are just not accountable. Could your unaccountable woman be a reflection of your lack of personal accountability? I know Andy's shaking his head already. Andy going, Zoe, if you don't pack your things up and leave the studio right now. No, I'm just saying, could it be both ways? Could you both be unaccountable in some way? But a lot of men don't want to see, like, let's sit down and have, brothers, let's start journaling, brothers. This is a journal especially for men. And women could do it too, but the journal is called How I Let Myself Down Today, or Opportunities I Missed to Lift Myself Up Today. What if we journaled about missed opportunities and ways to be better prepared for them when they show up? Now, the only reason why and I'm not saying it's a real journal, I'm just saying, just follow me here. What if you were that self-aware to keep kind of a ticker tape of self-observation, how you may have let yourself down in certain areas, how you don't stand up for yourself in certain areas, how you don't hold yourself to a higher standard in certain areas? In communication, right? Man, I could have said that better. And you journal about it. Man, I could have had better control of my emotions. Man, they kind of got away from me. What if you journaled like that, which shows us a record of men? And I'm not saying men don't do it, but shows us a record of the work being put in, right? I think it's easy to say women are not accountable. I think it's an easy projection, an easy a scapegoat, right? Or easy scapegoat to say, yeah, women are less accountable than men. But maybe could it be that your dating pool is a pool full of people that are on the same vibrational frequency, and that vibrational frequency so happens to be the frequency of unaccountability, non-accountability? I'm just asking, right? We agree in one sense when we say, hey, man, if you don't figure out what happened in this relationship, you're just going to replay it in the next. If we agree with that ideation, that notion, you're going to replay something, right? So if you find, brothers, that you're constantly getting an unaccountable or non-accountable woman, wouldn't it make sense using that thought that you're going to replay something if you don't heal it? Wouldn't it be prudent to say, let me do some self-reflection and see where I am not as accountable as I believe myself to be? What role does cognitive dissonance play in the demonization of an ex, and how can it hinder emotional healing? How might the Buddhist principles of non-attachment help individuals reframe their perception of an ex-partner as less of a devil and more of a teacher? I know you're not ready for that. I know you don't want to see somebody who betrayed you or hurt you or disappointed you or frustrated you or angered you as a teacher. I know. I just know you don't want to see it that way. Right? That's a powerful question. How might the Buddhist principle of non-attachment help individuals reframe their perception of an ex-partner as less of a devil and more of a teacher? In what ways can the practice of radical acceptance, as taught by Tara Branch, right, mitigate the emotional turmoil associated with villainizing or demonizing an ex-partner? How does the social narrative around breakups contribute to the stigmatization of ex-partners? And what are the implications for future relationships? Can the act of labeling an ex as the devil serve as a defense mechanism against feelings of guilt or shame regarding the end of the relationship? How can the practice of self-inquiry, as advocated by Ramana Maharishi, help individuals discern their role in the dynamics of their former relationships? Sheesh. I know people, listen, people can do us wrong. Let me just go there. It's possible that we can be done wrong. But what I'm really asking is, if you were done wrong, are you totally blameless for what happened to you in the relationship? I'm talking about adult relationships. I'm not talking about, I'm talking about real life relationships. Like when you sit down and you begin to do some introspection and you go, wow, I remember this happened, that happened. You know how women do? And this has been my experience. Maybe men have the same experience too. But I can recall a woman telling me, literally, in alphabetical order, from A to Z, everything that I did wrong at the end of the relationship. And, she just didn't speak on them during the relationship. I wonder if we have that same ability, or do we put ourselves through that same kind of scrutiny when looking at ourselves and taking responsibility for what we do? Is it just easier to call our partner a devil? The post-breakup narrative often veers into the territory of demonization, wherein an ex-partner is cast as the devil, Lucifer, Satan. This metaphorical label serves as a psychological defense mechanism, allowing individuals to examine their pain and not examine, but externalize it, project it outwardly, their pain and unresolved issues, while simultaneously shifting responsibility away from themselves. The implication of this behavior is very profound. It affects not only the individual's emotional well-being, but also their capacity for healthy future relationships. I just want to know, what did you do? If they're the devil, are you Beelzebub? Like, I want to know how you are compatible and attracted to the devil. You know you got exes that you called a monster, evil, demon, a devil. Oh, here's a great word, hellraiser. I just want to know, because I just find that it's all too easy to scapegoat the ex. Now, if everybody's a work in progress, what was your contribution to the decay of the relationship? How might your poor relationship with yourself, right, lend to the demise of the relationship or the conflict that was experienced within a relationship? When I come forward, you already know what it is. It's phone lines. I want to talk to everybody. Let's get it. Let's get it. Let's get it.
Reasons. The reasons that we're here, the reasons that we fear, our feelings won't disappear. You're listening to the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580. KBLA Talk 1580 congratulates Tavis Smiley on receiving the Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award from President Joseph R. Biden Jr. for a lifelong commitment to using his media and philanthropic platforms to help build a stronger nation. A host of Tavis's family, friends, colleagues, and luminaries, including LA Mayor Karen Bass, joined in the celebration. KBLA Talk 1580 wishes to thank the following partners for their support: the Weingart Foundation, Dr. Shikari Byerly, Rodrigo Byerly, and the team at Aviterus Public Opinion Research, Waters Tax Service, LA Councilmember Heather Hutt, the Empowerment Congress, Wallace and Renee Fortuné, the IQ Air Foundation, Dr. Kenneth Arduna and Central Neighborhood Christian Health Clinics, LA County Supervisor Holly Mitchell, LA County Supervisor Janice Hahn, Ambassador Michael A. Lawson, Ambassador Charles R. Stiff, and Attorney John E. Sweeney. Congratulations, Tavis, on your Presidential Lifetime Achievement Award. At KBLA Talk 1580, we've got your black. KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles is a nonprofit law firm that protects and advances the rights of the most underserved, leveling the playing field and ensuring that everyone can have access to the justice system. Every year, LAFLA provides free, high-quality legal services to more than 100,000 people living in poverty across greater Los Angeles. Their unique combination of neighborhood offices, self-help centers at courthouses, and domestic violence clinics puts Legal Aid Foundation of Los Angeles on the front lines in vulnerable communities and at the forefront of change. LAFLA's expert team of attorneys, paralegals, and support staff works to provide direct representation, offer counsel and advice, provide referrals, and educate the community about their legal rights through workshops and seminars. With locations all over LA, you can access their services or volunteer to help no matter where you live. And if you have an urgent issue, call call 213-235-0060. That's 213-235-0060. To get legal help, make a donation, or volunteer, visit lafla.org. lafla.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey, John, why so glum?
I just got let go. The company's downsizing. This is the third time in the last 2 years. I'm done with this.
Have you thought about My Computer Career? I've heard they can train you for a career in IT in just a few months, including cybersecurity and the basics of AI. And you don't need prior training or experience. Now that's a recession-resistant career.
Wow, thanks. I'll check them out.
Go to mycomputercareer.edu and take the free career evaluation. mycomputercareer.edu. Financial aid is available for qualified students, including the GI Bill.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Early in the morning, I put breakfast at your table and make sure that your coffee has its sugar and cream. Your eggs are over easy, your toast unlikely. All that's missing is your morning kiss that used to greet me. Now you see the juicy sour. It used to be so sweet, and I can't help but to wonder if you're talking about me. We don't talk the way we used to talk. It's hurting so deep. I've got my pride, I will not cry, but it's making me weak. I'm not your superwoman. I'm not the kind of girl that you can let down and think that everything's okay. Boy, I am only human.
Always remember, others may hate you, but those who hate you don't win unless you hate them, and then you destroy yourself. Those famous words were uttered by Richard Nixon in his farewell speech to his staff. The irony, and this is the key to blame shifting, there is always denial and self-deception in it. Do you hear what he's saying? Richard Nixon had a compulsion to hate the news media, to hate anyone who opposed him. And what did he do? He learned to hate them back, and he destroyed himself. And that's the thing to remember, is when somebody is shifting blame, it's a recognition of their own self-loathing and self-hatred. Now, this isn't to disparage Richard Nixon. Like, if you knew his childhood and what he went through, he was raised with self-loathing. It's the only way he could experience himself, because especially back then, we didn't talk about or teach these things.
Pause this, because this is so big. He's asking you to have compassion and empathy for Richard Nixon and his blame shifting because of his childhood and where he came from. He's not saying give him a pass, he's saying empathize, right? Do you know, in modern day relationships, man, they could know all about your past. They bottom line behaviors. Bottom line is what you did, I didn't like it, and it hurt. I'm not letting you off the hook because of where you came from. But knowing where a person comes from gives you a nuanced understanding of who they are. And it's also a gateway into understanding who you are. Unhealed people need a villain. They need an adversary. Just like he used Richard Nixon. He said Richard Nixon hated the media because they hated him. Do you understand what I'm saying? Let the rest of it play.
Because especially back then, We didn't talk about or teach these things. So he was just doing the best he could with the information he had at the time. So I don't hold that against him, but I do hold him accountable. And this is the key to remember with blame shifting, is this person is hurt. It doesn't condone their actions. It doesn't let them off the hook. They still are responsible for the consequences, just like Nixon was of being impeached. He did that to himself. But underneath it, if we hate them, if we don't have empathy for what creates the blame shifter, do you see what we're doing? We're destroying ourselves, just like Nixon. We are caught in the exact same self-deception. That is.
Do you agree with that? Because many people, when done wrong, it's almost like a coupon that you can redeem, that you can cash in to say, now I could feel as bad about you as I've always wanted to. Yeesh. Now I have a perfectly good reason to let my worst thoughts and feelings and potentially even actions towards you, I now have a good reason to let it out because you're a bad person. And again, having the context of where he comes from is supposed to recontextualize our view of Nixon. Who's the Nixon in your relationship? Huh? Gaslighting and blame shifting are additional mechanisms that exacerbate, this kind of relationship that I'm an angel, they're a devil, experience. When one partner attempts to manipulate the narrative of the relationship, it not only distorts reality, but also fosters an environment ripe with resentment and mistrust. This is real heavy stuff. Listen, when I come forward, I'm going to the phone lines. We have callers. I want to know, who's the devil in your relationship? You or them?
Trying to make it home just for you. I want to make sure that your dinner will be waiting for you. But when you get there, you just tell me you're not hungry at all. You said you'd rather read the paper and you don't want to talk. You like to think that I'm just crazy when I say.
He's on fire tonight. It's the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams, exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580.
I'm Amber Payton. Here's the latest on the Black Information Network. The West Suburban Oak Park Elementary School District in Illinois is being sued after a teacher sent several African-American students home with a bag of cotton following a lesson on slavery. One of the students was 13-year-old Autumn Shelton, who attends Percy Julian Middle School. She said that her history teacher had the class clean dirty cotton for the rest of the class period before taking it home. The racial discrimination lawsuit claims Autumn and her sister have been targeted for years. The school district responded by saying they are committed to providing an educational environment. A new poll finds Black Democrat Angela Alsobrooks has a 9-point lead over Republican Larry Hogan in Maryland's U.S. Senate race. Alsobrooks leads Hogan 48% to 39%, according to the UMBC Institute of Politics survey of likely voters. 5% are undecided with less than a month before the election. The Maryland race could determine which party controls the Senate. That's the latest. I'm Amber Payton on your home for 24/7 News, the Black Information Network.
September 15th to 21st is Asthma Peak Week, with the highest concentration of asthma flare-ups and hospitalizations. To become a more active participant in your care, visit luma-edu.com. This message is brought to you by Amgen and AstraZeneca.
Tabitha Smiley's new book, The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, is now on sale everywhere. This classic text shot to #1 on the New York Times bestsellers list almost 2 decades ago. If you have the original book, you will surely want to get this 20th anniversary edition with powerful new contributions from today's leading voices. This 20th anniversary edition presents a compelling blend of historical insights and contemporary urgency in this critical and unprecedented election year. Get your copy of The Covenant with Black America, 20 years later, today.
To help combat climate change, LADWP is helping neighborhoods have better access to electric vehicles by awarding nearly $130 million in EV rebates to customers just like you. From big savings on used EVs to building new charging plazas, LADWP is charging ahead to help all Angelinos experience the benefits of EVs. Get rebates of up to $4,000 for a used EV and $1,750 for a charger. Learn more at ladwp.com/EV. That's ladwp.com/EV.
To the 100 million people who owe the IRS money, this message is for you. We've helped tens of thousands of people close the door on their tax debt. So if you feel like you're stuck in a hole with IRS tax debt, then this is the easiest way to get a resolution quickly. To qualify for a no-pay or low-pay resolution, just call 687-246-9655 to get free from the IRS once and for all.
To keep your bank accounts, income, and assets secure, tax closure is your same-day cure.
Hey, LA residents, it's planting season and the perfect time to get shade trees growing around your home. LADWP and City Plants are giving every resident up to 7 free trees. That's right, 7 free trees delivered right to your door. Trees are great for the environment, help improve air quality, and can help you save on your bill when you use less air conditioning to stay cool indoors. Learn more at ladwp.com/free trees. That's ladwp.com/free trees.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580, connecting you with services and solutions. Stay Housed LA has the resources you need to know your rights and the legal support to back them up. The COVID-19 pandemic has cost people their jobs and livelihoods. This has left an estimated 1/3 of households not being able to make rent and facing losing their homes. This is a fear no one in our community should have to face. You have rights, though, and Stay Housed LA is here to help. Stay Housed LA is a partnership between the County of Los Angeles, the City of Los Angeles, and local community and legal service providers. Together, they provide tenants with the information and support needed to exercise their rights so they can remain safely in their homes. Find out more about your rights by participating in a virtual tenant workshop. Get the legal assistance you need. Find additional resources in Los Angeles County and the City of Los Angeles. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA County for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. Stay connected to Stay Housed LA for updates. This and more at stayhousedla.org. That's stayhousedla.org. Or call their hotline at 213-694-0040. We've got your black with a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
Helping to broaden your political and moral imagination with our 2024 Climate Justice Campaign. We're KBLA Talk 1580.
You have something special. You have greatness in you. Hello, this is Les Brown. I want you to go to lesbrownpowertour.com. On October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend, we will be at the Airport Marriott, teaching people the techniques and strategies on how you can begin to live your dream right now. Many people have the ability to do more, but unfortunately, they're trying to open new doors with old keys. We're going to teach you how to monetize your brilliance with one of the speakers. We have a lady who was once a gas station cashier, and she's now a billionaire, and she's going to share her knowledge. I'm going to share with you how to tell your story, how to present yourself, and how you can earn millions of dollars with your wisdom and your experiences. October the 11th, 12th, and 13th, this weekend. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com. It's going to change your life. Spread the word. Go to lesbrownpowertour.com this weekend in LA at the Marriott at the airport. This is your moment. You have something special. You have greatness in you. That's my story, and I'm sticking to it.
You're listening to the Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams. Only on KBLA Talk 1580.
You need a trip, 'cause he's not worth the misery.
A lot of people who've dated and been broken up with by individuals with severe avoidant attachment and fears of intimacy and commitment are often very, very hurt, upset, and scared when they see that their avoidant partner appears to have no reaction to the breakup and may believe that they never actually cared about them at all. It's very easy to personalize an avoidant attacher's appearance based on the way they're behaving and assume that your entire relationship or even situationship with them was a lie. I'm here to actually let you know that just because appearances look as though this individual didn't care about you, there is actually a lot more going on behind the scenes. When this individual shuts down, absolutely, a lot of those feelings for you are not actually showing because the front part of what you're seeing is a lot of their need to try and reject you to protect themselves because they are feeling intense fear and anxiety at the surface. However, once they back away, that fear starts to subside and some of their fondness for you can return. And that can also be coupled with a lot of shame and guilt, which is why some of these individuals madly try and come back to you to try and rectify things or go off and date someone new to deal with the shame. Some of them may even have complete addictive binge episodes where they get completely smashed on alcohol and drugs to cope with the pain of what they've done.
Wow. Ooh, there's a lot of devils out there. Are you one of them? Are you one of the devils? I keep telling y'all, we get who we are. This is just another show to illustrate that. There's a little devil in you, and that devil wants a soulmate in the devil in another. I know you don't want to hear it put that way, but that's just what it is. As Pema Chodron suggests, the refusal to confront our pain often leads to the projection of that pain onto others. This projection manifests as the demonization of an ex. Where there is unresolved conflicts and emotional wounds, they will be externalized, allowing individuals to avoid confronting their own shortcomings. This happens a lot. It happens a lot. We got callers on the line. Let's get them in here. My friend, your friend, Mountain View, Hawaii, John. Aloha. Welcome to the show. What are your thoughts?
Greetings and blessings, chat. Zoe, are you trying to give us chapter 3 of Monday's basically rant of the very same thing you're talking about right now?
Chapter 3 of Monday. What do you mean?
Okay, Tanisha Arnold said something to the effect of, when we see the victimization of black men or women, whether they're guilty of it or not, we always have a finger to point. Mm-hmm. But when you see other people do it, it's not something that you hear crickets.
Right. Oh, the Tashina Arnold post that post is going crazy on my page, by the way. Yes, I know what you mean. She was talking about, the R. Kellys, the Diddy's of the world. When our own people, get in trouble, our people, we tend to disparage them, joke on them, clown them, whatever. I mean, but when people of other races are found guilty of the same thing, we don't really have anything to say. And she was saying that aspect disgusts her. Tashina Arnold, actress from Martin, Gina, not Gina, but Pam from Martin, she mentioned that, and it has caused a serious viral spike on my Instagram page. I think it's hard to demonize the one who feeds you.
Well, it's hard to demonize the one that feeds you, but take it a deeper step. Mm-hmm. You had to notice the devil in the X for you to make that notion clear.
Come on, I'm listening.
But you also need to identify the devil in you.
Come on. But nobody thinks they're the
Quit
devil.
procrastinating. You need to face this devil because this devil is the same pendulum swing which is called your life. I remind you of the Bible where it says God created good and evil.
Isaiah 45:7.
And you're not experiencing.
Well, but it's difficult for people to be like, I'm the problem. It's difficult.
And sometimes we are. And sometimes we are.
But
And
John,
yes, it's going to be difficult.
But John, should we have some empathy for them in their resistance to seeing themselves?
Then have the same empathy for yourself.
Come on, keep going. That's why I'm asking. Keep going, John.
But the whole point is, yes, there's good and bad in all. Mm-hmm. And we carry that joker with us on a regular basis. For those of us who are men who care for people, mm-hmm. and yet we don't know where the limiter is as far as our giving.
Ooh. So we're the devil in that because we don't know where the limiter is.
How do you not see the devil inside of it?
Ooh. Ooh. Is there a devil inside of you when you're giving for a payoff?
But that's the whole point of you giving, isn't it?
Is that your devil?
There is a payoff of some sort, right?
Is there? Should there be?
Well, if you was giving out of the simple fact because you had it, no.
What if you give?
No, I'm not saying that tricking is a valued entity, but I'm also wanting to be labeled as a simp. No way.
No, but
I want to give. I want to give. It's in my heart to give. It is the God-given right that I have been given to be the human being I choose to be.
Right. But what if we're giving in the same context as Krishnamurti's point when he says, I love you and I don't want a thing from you? I think when you're giving...
But that's the point we all need to work on.
Right.
That's the point that I'm trying to get at in my giving.
Right.
Why do you think I give to this show? There's no point of giving to a show unless there is benefit off in it, even if it don't come to me. Yet at the same time, I do give, and I will give again. I will continue to give to this show because I see the work that needs to be done, and it's not just for me. It's for everybody that doggone listens to this show.
Man, you done got the organs out of Andy. Andy done hit the organs on you, man.
But this is the work that needs to be done in all of us.
Right. Every
single one of us needs to put that part into full perspective. Quit avoiding the look you see in the mirror.
Wow. I love it, brother. I love it. Hey, guess what you just did, Brother John?
Actually, we're up here with 25th ID in Pahakalua training area at the current time, but nonetheless, we're in the house.
Come on, man. We appreciate you. Thank you for calling. If you want to bring your city in the building, all you got to do is call me, 1-800-920-1580. We are on fire tonight. When I come forward, we're going to Houston, Texas.
Is it good to you? More Voice of Reason with Zoe Williams when we come forward.
Looking for a purposeful and passionate way to make a difference in your community? Volunteer with our Senior Medicare Patrol and help prevent Medicare fraud. S&P volunteers work in their community educating peers about healthcare fraud and how to prevent and detect it. Free training starts soon. Check us out online or at an S&P open house near you. We're on a mission to stop fraud. Join our team. You make a difference. Visit ca-smp-volunteer.org.
Chevy, All the Things 2024 Truck Season Radio 30, code GWMR0294000.
This truck season, think about all the things you can do in a Chevy truck. You'll be able to, or you can even just, with impressive towing, incredible bed and tailgate functionality, and multiple powertrains, Chevy trucks have what you need to get things done. When you want to do it all, Chevy's got you. Chevrolet, together let's drive.
KBLA Talk 1580. We've got a lot to talk about.
KBLA Talk 1580 believes in community empowerment through the arts. Tia Chucha Central Cultural is on a mission to transform community in the Northeast San Fernando Valley and beyond through ancestral knowledge, the arts, literacy, and creative engagement. The Northeast San Fernando Valley has a population of about 500,000, the size of the city of Oakland, yet it has no bookstores, art galleries, or full-fledged cultural spaces until Tia Chuchas opened its doors in 2001. Founded by renowned poet and activist Luis Rodriguez, Tia Chuchas Cultural Center provides a year-round free or low-cost arts and literacy bilingual intergenerational programming in mural painting, music, dance, writing, visual arts, healing art sessions, and healing talking circles. Activities also include Mexica, Aztec dance, indigenous cosmology, philosophy, and 2 weekly open mic nights, one in Spanish, the other in English. In addition, they host author readings, film screenings, and art exhibits. To express yourself, heal yourself, attend an event, or volunteer, please visit www.tiachucha.org. That's TIACHUCHA.org. This is a community call to action from KBLA Talk 1580.
As we go a little something like this.
Hey, it is me, D.L. Hughley, and I am thrilled to be heard weekdays in my hometown on KBLA Talk 1580. So check out the D.L. Hughley Afternoon Show weekdays from 2 to 4 p.m. exclusively on KBLA Talk 1580. We got a whole lot to talk about, let me tell you. That's on the real.
You know you want some more. It's the voice of reason with Zoe Williams on KBLA Talk 1580.
Hey guys, welcome back. Thanks for joining me for another episode. If you are new to my channel, my name is Stephanie. I am a life and relationship coach. If you are a subscriber, welcome back. Thank you for joining me for another show. So this week, I want to talk about how to deal with anger when we are going through a divorce, we're ending a relationship, or we're, in the process of going through a breakup. So this is really huge because anger is a part of the grieving process, but I want you to understand, number one, why we feel this anger, and how to move through it so we can begin really healing after the end of this relationship. So I'm sure we've all met those people who their anger turns to bitterness and then they stay stuck there for years and years, or perhaps maybe they don't turn bitter, but they just get very angry, feel defeated, they never get into a relationship again, or they just, that this relationship really hurt them and change them, not for the better. So we don't want any of that to happen. We want to experience these relationships and go through them in healthy ways and heal in a healthy way. So in this video, I'm going to give you some tips on how to do that. So there are lots of reasons why we sometimes feel angry. We could be angry with ourselves for perhaps now seeing the red flags that we didn't see early on in the relationship, for overlooking a lot of abusive behavior and taking a lot of abusive behavior that we took throughout the course of that relationship. We could be really angry with the other person for giving us the abuse, for taking advantage of us, for manipulating us, whatever, and for not being able to be strong enough to even perhaps leave the relationship sooner than maybe what we have. We could be angry with the other person for how they left us and how they treated us at the end of that relationship, whether someone cheated on you or left you or had an affair. So there are lots of reasons why we feel this anger, and we can pinpoint them all day long. I feel angry because they did this, this, and that, and I'm angry with myself because I did this, this, and that. But really what anger is sadness, and the sadness is the disappointment of the expectation that you had on this person, on yourself, and on the way you thought this relationship was going to go. Where people really get stuck is when they get angry either too much with the other person, where they become bitter, or and they don't take any responsibility for their own selves, or they are too angry at themselves for things that they did wrong in the relationship. So this is when you're angry with yourself because perhaps your partner left you, or lied or cheated, whatever it looks like. Maybe even if they didn't do any of those things, that they just wanted the relationship to end, you could have a bunch of stories that are under the umbrella of I'm not enough. So it could be,
Man, them stories can be dangerous. The stories we tell ourselves after something went down in a relationship. You know what you saw. You know what you experienced. You know what was done to you, and you know what you did to others. But boy, that psychological, emotional, and mental revisionist history that happens after this bi-directional conflict caused the relationship to end, man, people are some amazing editors of the truth, man. They revise everything that they did to look blameless. You gotta get, it's like, hey man, I gotta get this off my book. These actions that I did that caused the relationship to suffer, I gotta get it off my books. If it's on my books, it's like I gotta pay for the taxes on it. And many people don't want to pay these relational taxes that are gained from the things we bring to the relationship. It's easy to shift blame on our partner. We got callers on the line. I want to get them in here. Attila from Houston, Texas. What are your thoughts on tonight's topic?
Uncle Soda.
Here we
go.
Here we go.
Look, I won't be long, but I will be strong. I was thinking about your conversation with Pastor John, and you were saying that it's hard to demonize a person that feeds you. I'm gonna sprinkle a little bit of something on that. I think that it's hard to demonize a person who feeds your wounds, even after they stop feeding them, because you know you participating in the devilment, and I'm talking about myself too. Devilment meaning reckless mischief.
Reckless mischief.
We know what we be doing. Pitchfork is in the closet. But you know what's interesting though? I think the opposite of that though is it's easier to demonize people who are engorging you with things that you don't value. That overgiving of so they're overgiving of the thing that you don't find to be valuable. So for example, if a person is available to you because in their mind they're like, this is going to allow a relationship to form, but you don't value their availability because you don't really value what they bring, it doesn't really matter how available they are. It's not going to ring any bells. But the person that is feeding your wounds, so what that might look like is allowing you to skirt accountability.
Right.
That would be them feeding your wound, right? So what's interesting about that, though, is that's the same thing that they'll throw in your face at the end of the breakup. And that's kind of what you detailed when you said that the lady ran off the laundry list of grievances, right? The very thing that they allowed you to skirt, the very accountability they allowed you to skirt will be thrown back in your face later. So, and that's a form of devilment in itself.
Devilment
right?
is a wonderful word. Devilment. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah. And I mean, so I think the lesson in that is something that I'm still learning is that if I'm not placing value on the very thing that I'm providing and being selective about who I'm providing it to, I am my own devil in that.
Let me ask you a question. Has somebody ever seen you as the villain, as the devil in the relationship?
Oh, quite a few people, I'm sure.
Well, why?
I'm a trip.
You ain't got to say no names. I'm just saying, why would they see Polo Attila?
Ain't no Poe.
I'm just saying, meek and mild little Attila. Why would they see you as the devil? What kind of devilment have you brought to the table? That's all I want to know.
I mean, for me, I have a really hard time, I think, when I feel like I've been wronged in some type of way, it's really hard for me to then take accountability after that with that same exact person. You know what I'm saying? So essentially, it's a forgiveness issue. Because I think that if you can't fully forgive, you won't be able to fully take accountability when you mess up later either, because you're still holding on to that retribution that you feel like you're owed.
So it's like,
and I wrote a comment.
It's like righteous indignation almost. It's like, you did me wrong, so there are no rules. After you do me wrong, you can't hold me to any standard or anything. I don't have to be accountable for anything. Is that what you're saying?
In a sense, yeah. I think it could definitely come off that way for sure. And to be honest, I think the bigger issue there, for me at least, is not really calling things when they happen. I'm one of those people that is a no worries type of person. Like we talked about the strong friend earlier, like that's kind of how I am. And I think that it creates an issue because when you really do have an issue or some sort of grievance to address, it's really hard to do that when you've been no worries and easygoing this whole time. You feel me? So I think part of it is just being able to authentically speak about things in a way that is still respectful when you're upset. And that's hard to do, at least for me. And that also leans into reactive abuse, right? Even though you may be being gaslit or being, what's the other word? I'm losing my word.
Wait, hold tight. When we come forward, you gonna find that word and you gonna let us. You said reactive abuse, and then you're looking for the other term. When we come forward, more from Attila out of Houston, Texas.
It's time to get rolling.